The next video was sent by Manfred, and it depicts a homeowner and his dog strolling through their backyard after dark for a late night walk, which is nothing out of the ordinary, and something they do on an almost daily basis. To the owner's surprise, this night though, the dog notices something in the distance and starts reacting to it.
You good, bud? What you barking at?
At this point, in the eyes of the owner, it was very possible that his dog just saw another animal or something.
Stop barking, bud. What's wrong?
What just transpired, unfortunately, did not catch the owner's eye at the time, and he only realized that something odd was going on when checking the footage afterwards. A long and stretched shadow is quickly passing by from the right, and then hiding behind the tree. What are we looking at here exactly? It's really hard to explain this phenomenon. What do you guys think? Rodrigo has forwarded me the following video that was uploaded on Reddit. Unfortunately, the thread has been lost, so the original uploader remains unknown. If you know who uploaded it, please leave a comment. Anyways, apparently we have another night guard here who was patrolling a school at night, and on one of his rounds, really weird noises appear to be coming from one of the corridors. Rodrigo said that the uploader believes that it could capture the voices and moans of the undead. And then there is a strange machinery noise. Oh, I forgot to mention, the power went off in the building 2 minutes before the man started recording that night. What do you think? Is it just another bunch of machines making that noise, or something more mysterious? The following is a CCTV recording, which was captured at a military base. The security guard who was in charge of the cameras suddenly noticed that a lady seemed to have appeared right next to a pair of guards who were out on duty that night. What's pretty curious though, is that the two guards seemingly did not notice the woman, after the security officer on the monitors had informed the two men about this strange visitor.
Exactamente ahí está haciendo su movimiento, ahí está. Adelante, lo escucho.
Ya le abrí aquí la malla al 37, lo dejo que pase hasta del otro lado, lo acompaño al portón y lo dejo que vaya, ¿o qué hago? No hay nada.
Hasta ahí está don Enrique, dice.
Está atrás de Enrique.
To this day, it's not been clear where exactly this dark shadow came from. Some say it was just a reflection from an object nearby. But the sudden appearance and the fact that even security thought of it as an illegal alien makes one wonder what exactly happened here that night. Mr. Fender 76 was out camping one night and was filming the process of getting all of his equipment set up. After uploading this video to his channel, somebody noticed something creepy in the distance.
Look how friggin' bright that is. This is amazing. Yeah, so these
Could this be an arm? But how is that possible? Apparently nobody was back there when this was recorded. Could this be a skinwalker? A few days after, Fender posted this follow-up video.
Okay, this road goes down to the lake, which is right there, and a public boat landing. This is where my truck was backed in. Well, it's actually a path, and that is the tree with the stick leaned up against it. As you can see, people illegally dump stuff out here all the time. Mostly trash, but a lot of animal carcasses too. And here we are behind the tree. It's where my Xterra was backed in. I'm about 5'10". I'm not a very superstitious person, so you're not going to get much out of me. I just think, if anything, somebody back here. So there's, across the lake is a neighborhood there. Boat landing parking is right there. All these trails, people use four-wheelers and dirt bikes, but they haven't been used in a long time.
In the end, Mr. Fender never found out what exactly was lurking behind that tree. But many people are sure that it was something sinister. This video was recorded by Soy Marshalak, and she's actually the wife of Joshua Alak, which we all know he's the haunted store owner, and they had quite a number of really strange events going on in their home and their shop, if you actually remember. We've taken an in-depth look at them, and today she wants to share a really terrifying encounter that actually took place once again in her home, while she was just setting everything up for Christmas. Now, let's take a look at that.
Que se vea mejor y poder ver.
Oh, was there a shadow?
Pues
Beautiful.
ahí está mi arbolito. Y pues así quedó mi arbolito. Ahora, pues a prender la luz para les explicar lo de la muñeca. Lo que a mí se me hace sorprendente es que pues la repisa todavía es...
Right, something that has to do with the door, but
Pues así que...
look. This shadow here. What is that? Almost looks like a coat, but it's pretty tall.
Que se vea mejor y poder...
Look at that.
Y poder...
This shadow.
Y poder...
We actually see it here already.
Poder... Se vea... Y pues así quedó mi arbolito.
And there we have it. This video was recorded by Fernando Victoroli, who is working at the local train station. The station itself is apparently haunted, at least that is what several eyewitnesses stated. But oftentimes these stories are not really true and just serve as a creepy local legend. Fernando is working the night shift with his colleagues, and they navigate trains into their parking positions and take care of mechanical issues and other fixes that might come up. They wear GoPros strapped around their heads on their nightly sessions for security reasons. One night, Fernando was on the way back to the station and was walking past an abandoned train car with a couple of guys. They stated that nobody else would have been on the tracks, especially that late, but his camera could record something curious. What could his GoPro capture here? It looks as if a person with long hair is looking out of one of the passenger trains. Of course it was empty and locked from the outside for inspection purposes. So what are we looking at here? Is it a spirit that might be visiting this train station? If it's not a prank, I can't say what else it could be. It's interesting that Fernando didn't react at the time. Probably didn't see it. What do you guys think? Next we are looking at a video that was sent by Thomas. Apparently he had found it on a channel called Shimmy Jim Hog. It features a young man who was hearing mysterious noises from the sewer near his house. This night he wanted to see where the noises actually came from.
You can probably hear it in the background right now.
Granted, the premise of this sounds like straight out of a horror movie.
Coming up on the tunnel right now.
And maybe it is.
I'm hearing the noises inside the tunnel.
As the man approaches the tunnel, we can hear a creature in the far.
I really just want to make contact with this creature.
This apparently was not enough to keep the man at bay, and he ventures deeper into the tunnel systems, which apparently were still in use. The closer he comes to the creature, the more it makes its presence known. I'm sure many of us are familiar with these sounds. They are pretty similar to the rake. Now let's look at that again. Certainly looks like the rake, doesn't it? Even if it is a setup, it's an entertaining clip in my opinion. The following clip was shared by Caters and it was captured by Dan Litchfield and his team. They were investigating a supposedly paranormal hotspot in Mansfield, Notts, which is called the Village. It would appear that during their investigation, their camera might have captured a shadowy figure standing in the background and possibly looking at the team. The team is sure that this couldn't have been a piece of furniture or other item that was placed there. Legends tell of several monks that were seeking refuge in this place, and that many of them found a tragic end in there during the dissolution of the monasteries. Do you think they could have captured one of the spirits here? Or are we just seeing things? The next videos were captured by a Ring doorbell camera. This case is a different kind of scary. It's about a mentally disturbed man with the name Stephen Groves, who has been terrorizing his neighbors for over 2 years. Stephen Passat, the owner of the doorbell camera, is disabled and trying to live a peaceful life with his family and caretakers. His crazy neighbor has been seen several times, appearing in front of Stephen's home and seemingly trying to damage his camera. But their neighbor from hell seems to be losing his mind more and more, night after night, now choosing to actively attack the camera. Leaving Stephen's family terrified and watching this unfold on their phone screens. It is unknown what drove Groves to these actions. He has been put on a curfew and has been convicted of 3 charges of harassment, and he also had to pay for the damages done to Stephen Passart's property. However, none of these disciplinary actions seem to keep Groves away from his neighbor's stores. So we can only hope that nothing even worse will happen.
The following was recorded by an explorer who was just recording what appears to be some recently abandoned living facilities. But there has been something else that was with him at the time. Could this be one of the former tenants, maybe? What's your opinion? This clip was recorded by a couple who felt that their place was inheriting some unexplainable energies and things were out of place every now and then. The following captures were recorded by a stationary camcorder, which was taping Bobby, the wife, while she was resting on a couch. The couple is assessing today's footage on their computer and analyzing bit by bit what was going on. Now let's take a closer look. There is an unusual object right behind Bobby on the bed.
What is that? This is at Hinsdale.
And it appears to be unclear to where it could have originated from.
As you can see, I am not moving.
This is Bobby sleeping on a very small couch.
First I was thinking that it might have been a cat or another animal. But the movement is pretty static for a living object, don't you think? And there it is again.
I'm gonna be shifting my arm, watch what happens. See that?
From this angle now, we can even get a better look onto the very mysterious phenomena. What's your explanation? Just an animal? A CCTV camera in a hotel has caught this unknown creature on tape. Some believe it is a ghost, others think it could be something even more sinister. The following has been shared by user BlunderDefect, and he states that the CCTV camera mounted outside and facing the car shed has recorded some really unusual light anomalies. Their night security system has been triggered once in a while because it apparently had detected movement overnight. Every time this happened, the CCTV camera could not capture any intruder, or person for that matter. Is it maybe related? Let's see. Some viewers believe that this could maybe just be cigarette smoke, for whatever reason. But many people answered to that, saying that smoke from a cigarette would be hot, so it would not rise until it dissipates, which is a fair point. And it doesn't seem to be a light reflection from nearby. But what else could it be? The movement of whatever it is pretty unique. If you have any idea, please let us know. A couple of nights after this incident, the man started a Skype video chat with one of his friends. They both wanted to play some games together, just a regular evening on a weekend. But then something else joined in on the fun. Could it be that this is the same spirit of the woman that was haunting him before? This time we can hardly recognize her face, but the body looks like it belonged to a woman. The man never found out the reason behind this haunting. The next clip comes to us from ClipHunt2, who is an alleged ghost hunter and who was out the following night to hunt for the spirit of a notorious kuntilanak. Apparently, this being was seen several times in the past when roaming around close to an abandoned building in the outskirts of town. After a few hours, he caught the following. He He stated that he didn't notice this woman in the distance, just standing there with her hair down. So he continued his investigation for a while. In total, he caught this woman 3 times this night, but commented that he only saw her in the last capture. He returned home shortly after. So, what exactly did he capture here this night? Do you think this was a being from another realm, or was it just a confused woman?